Hello, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so happy that you're here. Today in this video, we are on part 2 of a 4-part series that is all things flight booking. What are the travel agent professional secrets that we use to get the best deals, to find the best flights, and to make the experience the best we can for our clients? I'm sharing that with you today, so stay tuned. Alrighty, so welcome back to day 2 of the 4-part series. My name is Linda Jones. I am the CEO of Crafted Travel Company and author of Travel Agent Secrets. I'm a 15-year industry veteran, and my passion is sharing what I know with you so that you can plan the best vacations you can, get the best deals, and just travel is very important, and I just want everybody to have access to it and get the best that they can. So whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or whether you are a new travel agent just looking to build your skills, this is for you. So let's go ahead and dive in and let's see what we got. So today, actually, let me talk about episode 1, which I will link up above. Episode 1, we were talking about when, where, and how to book. So I covered all of the online booking tools that I use, how I find the best pricing, and all of that information. But today I want to talk to you about more ways that you can save money. And there are actually quite a bit more ways that you can save money. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what we can find. So one of the first tricks that I use to save even more money is I check my flights. If I'm going round trip somewhere, I check what the cost is one way. So if I were to buy one one-way ticket going and buy a separate one-way ticket coming back, sometimes they are cheaper. Let me show you what I mean. One of the first places that I go to when I'm looking at flights, and the reason I like going to Google Flights, is they automatically will check one-way tickets, what it costs to buy 2 separate one-way tickets versus a round-trip ticket, and it compares the cost. A lot of times, I'm telling you, more often than not, it is cheaper to pay one way each way. Now, I double-checked our scenario from the first video when we were going from LA to JFK. That one, it didn't make sense to buy it 2 one-way tickets, but a lot of times you can find cheaper deals. So for instance, let's take a look at this. I said fictitiously that we're gonna go from LA to London and on the same dates, July 1st, coming back July 6th. Google Flights automatically checks 2 one-way tickets as well as round trip. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, that was the going flight. This is the returning flight. It says separate tickets. That means that you're going to be booking 2 one-way tickets in order to get this price of $5.95. Now, to illustrate what I mean, let me show you what it means versus paying for the round trip fare. So this is the same flight that we were looking at on Google Flights. If I take the lowest fare, and again, we're just trying to compare apples to apples, so I'm just choosing the basic fare. And again, this kind of illustrates the basic fare, what you're missing when you take the basic fare. And if that's okay with you, then that's fine. So that's the cheapest that going to London, coming down here. This is the cheapest returning from London. Again, that super cheap basic economy, what I'm missing when I do that. And if you go up here and you look at the price is $655. But on Google Flights, it's only $5.95. Now, there's not a huge difference, but you can see how booking 2 one-way fares actually can bring your price down potentially. Now, sometimes it's only this, $50 or so, but sometimes it could be a lot more. So it's definitely worth checking your one-way pricing when you are doing the price comparison. That is a way that you can actually save even more money. For my next tip, one of the things that I mentioned in the first video is that when you are booking internationally, it's always a good idea to check with a travel agent, because sometimes we have access to consolidator pricing, which is special pricing that's not available to the general public. That might be cheaper than what you're finding just by doing your searches online. Let me illustrate let me show you what I mean by that. So we are in Google Flights. And just for our purposes today, I was checking from LA to Dublin, Ireland on our same dates. And we are sitting, we're taking a look at the flights that show up for Google Flights. So this is saying that the best flight they have is $877 per person. Okay, this is the same that you're able to look Google Flights. Anybody can access this rate. But let's go over to Centrab. Now, Centrab is a consolidator for airlines, for airline tickets that travel agents, it's only available to travel agents. And I just wanted to show you, I did the exact same trip, LA to Dublin, same dates. And look at what I have here. The cheapest flight is $694 compared to $877. So sometimes, and not always, sometimes what you find published online is the cheapest rate. But sometimes when you check with your travel agency, they can save you incredible amounts of money. So it is always worth it to double check with them before you book anything, because you don't want to miss out on that potential. Tip number 3, always check alternative airports. For instance, if you're flying into London, there are several other airports in the UK that you could fly to and easily get to London. And sometimes those other airports are cheaper than Heathrow is, which is the main airport in London. Same thing in Paris. Sometimes it's cheaper to fly into another airport and then take a train to Paris, or take, rent a car or something like that. If you're looking to save money, it is always worth it to check other airports. Let me show you what I mean. So we are on Google Flights, which, as you know from the previous video, is one of my favorite places to check. One of the reasons that I like them so much is they think of the little things. They think of separating 2 one-way tickets to save you money, but they also think of things like this. So I'm booking LA to London on our same dates, and look at this little pop-up. If I change my airport, I can actually fly for $595, whereas all of these are over $1,000. Some of them are a little lower, $900, but simple change of airport could do it. And this is how you search. See right here, it says nearby airports. So when you're looking at this, we're going to add Gatwick onto here. It shows you, okay, it's an hour and 25 minutes. See, I have to hold it here. Hour and 25 minutes to get back to London from Gatwick, versus Heathrow, it was 55 minutes. But for an extra 25-minute journey to get to London, isn't it worth saving $400 or so? So it's always worth it when you're in a place that has several airports within easy distance of your destination. It's always worth it to check the alternate airports. And Google Flights is a great place to go for that, because they do have this nearby airport. If you're using Skyscanner or any of the others, a lot of times it'll say nearby airports as well. It'll give you that little tick mark that you can use, and that works just as well. So tip number 3. Number 4 is to use a resource like Scott's Cheap Flights, Airfare Watchdog, Hopper's Watch feature. And that is because, and even Google Flights does something similar to this, that is because what they do is find the cheapest prices that are available all over the world. Now, this only works if you have the time to wait for that cheap potential vacation to come across your email. So as we talked about in the first video, which again, I'll link up here, in Scott's Cheap Flights, what you do is it's a service. You pay $49 a year. And what they do is they scour the internet and all of the different flight options available, and they send you updates, emails telling you, when there's a really great deal to be had, a really cheap flight, a really great something happening. But in order to take true advantage of that, you need to be far enough out that you can wait for something you really want to come available. If you're flying in a month, that might not be enough time for you to get the best deals. Also, it might not be a deal for where you want to go. Like if you want to go to France, those cheap deals that might start coming up may or may not be to France. Sometimes they are. Sometimes you get lucky and you find a really great deal. So that is more of a tool that you can use to hopefully find something great. It's by no means a guarantee you're going to find a really great deal, but those deals are definitely out there. So that is my 4th tip, is to go ahead and use something like Scott's Cheap Flights or Airfare Watchdog or the Google Watching, so that you can find those really, really great deals when they come across, immediately when they come across. Tip number 5, my final tip of the day, is to use your miles. If you travel a lot and you find yourself being on the same airline quite often, or at least in the same airline group, for instance, One World, Star Alliance, which are conglomerates of many airlines that belong to one group. One World is like American, Alaska, and so forth. Star Alliance is Delta and a couple other people that I'm not remembering all of their names right now. But register as a frequent flyer on the airline that you use the most, or the airline that at least is a member of the airlines that you use the most. For instance, I belong to One World, which has American, Alaska, but I also have access to British Airways and all different kinds of places. So that's where I chose to join. My sister joined Delta because she likes their network of available airlines. Regardless, sign up for frequent flyer miles. Then when you are flying, use your miles. Delta, for instance, has a way that you can use some of your miles. So even if you don't have a ton in your bank saved, sometimes you can use those miles to get upgrades for free, to get baggage and extra amenities for free. Sometimes you can use partial, like maybe you don't have enough for an entire flight, but maybe you have enough to at least reduce your flight cost, so it might be 10,000 miles and an extra $200, and that's your flight. There are ways to save money by using those miles. And if you're a frequent traveler, even if you go once a year, you can really accrue those miles, especially if you are a credit card user and you choose to get your credit card in that particular airline. Those miles really add up quickly, and it is a great cost-saving tip for if you fly frequently, is to be able to use, and even if you don't, using those miles really can help you save a lot of money. Okay, that was not as long as yesterday, but it was a quick part 2 of our 4-part series to tell you more ways that you can save, more ways that you can find the best flights and the best possible flights for you and your vacation dreams. So stay tuned for episode 3, where we're going to be talking about how to get the most out of your flights, how to get those upgrades, how to get those special little amenities and perks and really make the most of your flights. That is coming up in day 3. So I really hope to see you there. And if you found this helpful at all and you would like to share, if you would like to ask me questions, please, I would love to hear from you. And if you found it helpful, please go ahead and hit the subscribe, and you'll be notified go ahead and hit the subscribe, and you will be notified when we send out our episode 3, so you don't miss it. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a really fantastic day, and happy travels. Bye-bye.